As the football season wound down in the last couple of weeks before the end, we had all sorts of media and press people come here to Serra seeking to interview. And they were interviewing different coaches and former athletes and even youngsters walking the hallways. They even interviewed an old chaplain, and they interviewed us all about Tom. And it struck me afterwards that whether it was a young student here at Serra, whether it was a former coach, athlete, whatever, priest, we all said it differently, but we all said the same thing. And I can speak for everyone who was interviewed because this is how I feel. The most powerful emotion of honor and respect that I have for you is that with all the accolades and all the remarkable accomplishments you've made in your life, worldwide fame and all that goes with it, what I honor and respect about you more than anything else is when you come home to San Mateo, and you come home to Serra, and you come home to St. Gregory's Parish, you're Tommy. And of all the things you've done in your life, what I most respect and honor about you is that has never changed. That has never changed. And I mean that, my friend, as my sincerest compliment to you, but also as a tribute to your mom and dad, to Tom and GALYNN. And so with that in mind, it's a privilege, it's a grace, it's a real blessing to introduce tonight our guest speaker, Tommy.
Thank you. Thank you. It's finally nice to stand up here and to be able to tell some of my old teachers to sit down and shut up. Been waiting a long time for that. Certainly thank you, Mr. Lund, for having me and for that great welcome, Father Joe. I'm thrilled to be here, obviously, tonight as a very small part of a very special night for our school. And it's exciting to be here walking these halls, seeing our locker room, which somehow smells the exact same as the day I left, along with all the other beautiful facilities, and to stand before you in this gym, which doesn't look like a gym, but that's meant so much to so many of us. And since graduating here in 1995, I've received so much support from this community, and I want everyone here to know how grateful I am for that support. I can't remember how many times when I was playing at Michigan or now with the Patriots that I hear, "Go Padres," walking on or off the field. Yeah. And it means so much to me, and it means so much to be able to call this place, Serra High School, my home. Once a Padre, always a Padre. And I have a feeling that statement hits home for all of you alumni and friends in the community here tonight, and how could it not? And I can speak on behalf of many of my former classmates, some that are sitting here tonight, that it's really great to see when I say we never realized how good we had it when we were here. And Serra's provided the opportunity and help lay the foundation of hard work and discipline for countless boys to grow into strong, mindful sons, brothers, and fathers. And tonight's about funding a dream, and funding the dream of a Serra education and the incredible foundation for a career and a life that it can provide. The dreams of many Serra students is often provided by willing and committed parents who sacrifice so much to give their sons a quality education. My dad, Tom, and my mom, GALYNN, did that for me. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I love them for that very much. But there are many other willing and capable students that need nights like this and the generosity of the community to help fund their dreams of an education. Last year, over 250 students were given that chance through financial aid, but still, many deserving young men have not been as fortunate. I was, and I'm here to tell my story as an enduringly proud Padre since 1991. First, let me take you to just 4 weeks ago, as I was riding on a plane bound for Indianapolis to play in one of the biggest games of my professional career. And what came to mind wasn't much of a surprise. I think all those moments leading up to that game become so meaningful because the opportunity to play in another Super Bowl was something that so few people in my profession get to experience, even once. It was my 5th time, and I was there to relish it. So for me, I spent a lot of time reflecting on the things that I valued most in my life, along with the things that had happened over the course of my academic and athletic career that led me to that point. Coaches like Tom Martinez, whose spirit is here with us all tonight. And who taught me how to throw a football when I was 12 years old. Like Bob Vanal and Perry Carter, who worked hard to coach me as a chubby, slow-footed sophomore here at Serra and believed in me when nobody else really did. And like Coach Tom McKenzie, my varsity football coach and counselor, who I spent countless hours with in his office helping to shape my character as a young man. And like Coach Chuck Rapp, who was my freshman B basketball coach at the time. And that he believed in every player that he coached that year. And to this day, I have not seen a locker room explosion like I did before we played at St. Francis. I'm not sure the wall or the chair that he threw was ever the same after that. And like Mr. Bertetto, who I know is not here tonight, he was my JV basketball coach who brought so much energy to each game and to AP history class that he taught, if you can believe that. Actually, I lied. I never qualified for an AP class here. And like Mr. Monahan, my freshman baseball coach and religion teacher, who I seemed to get better grades the higher my batting average was. And Coach Jensen, who gave everything he had to Serra in our historic baseball program. And along with Coach Ferretti and Coach Jeffries and Coach Barbieri, all of whom I was privileged to play for. And Coach Hessian, who in my second year taught me the finer points of surfing during my spring minicamp, which I still use like I did 3 days ago with my family in Costa Rica. I suck as a surfer, but that wasn't because of Coach Hessian. Team sports are all about the team, and that was true as a freshman here at Serra, and it still rings true into my 13th year with the Patriots. And as I first learned here, football, and life for that matter, is about competition. And I took my first ever reps here for the freshman football team in 1991. And I competed with my friend Kevin Kristofiak, who's here, to be the quarterback. And I lost the competition, but I was excited to be a part of the team anyway. And I was second string that year and learned from the reps that I got in practice. And I did get a chance to get into a few games. I remember playing at Reardon. It was late in the game. We were losing. And my number was called. It was great to finally be playing. Until after a few plays, Coach Joe O'Connor yelled from the sideline, "Brady, you look like you're running in slow motion." Which was true then, and is still true today. I know, Mom. My mom still thinks I'm the fastest one out there for me. I know. She says, "Honey, don't say that. You're fast." Well, we went 0-8 that year, and I hardly played. Not really the best start for someone who would end up making a career playing the game. And as a 14-year-old boy, I realized how much I loved the game. And just as importantly, I enjoyed the practice and the preparation, working to improve, and I realized how much improvement I needed to make in order to continue playing past high school. So I worked and I studied and I listened and I practiced, and by my senior year, I was playing well enough to be recruited by a few Division I schools. And after an intense recruiting process, I chose Michigan. I took my first steps onto that playing field in college as the 7th quarterback on the team. And I was hoping that one day I'd get a chance to lead the team on the Michigan Stadium and play in front of 112,000 fans. But it was pretty clear it wasn't going to happen overnight. So there were over 120 practices my first year, not to mention the hundreds of hours of meetings we had in order to prepare us to play Big Ten competition. And it all seemed to pay off when I first got my chance to play. And I was so excited. I had all my friends from home watching, maybe some of you. My parents were in the crowd. We were ahead with a huge lead against UCLA. I was put into the game in the 4th quarter, and the coach called my favorite pass play. So I dropped back, trying to impress the coach. I looked off the safety a little bit, and I fired the ball right over the middle of the field. I hit the player right in stride, right between the numbers, and he ran 45 yards for a touchdown. No one touched him. Just as I had dreamed. The crowd erupted. I was horrified. That was UCLA's only points of the game. A 45-yard interception return for a touchdown. Welcome to college football. I wasn't sure my coach would ever put me in again. But we all have experiences that we dream about and that we look forward to. And when we get them, they don't always go our way. I learned that as a freshman on the football field just outside of this gym. And again, I learned it as a second-year player who finally got a chance to play in college. Unfortunately, I learned it 3 weeks ago in our loss to the Giants in Super Bowl 46. But I've always been blessed with the support of my family and friends, and also with coaches that committed their best to me. And with each opportunity came an understanding of the things that it takes to be successful. And often this happens through trial and error, and sometimes through outright failure, because Lord knows I made plenty of mistakes. So whether I was learning through watching, as I did my freshman year at Serra, or playing and making mistakes over the course of my career, I've continued to learn to embrace every hardship and to seize every opportunity on and off the field. The owner of my current team, Robert Kraft, has told me time and time again, every bump is a bounce. So when I learned very quickly as a professional was that your job is always on the line. I'm in a what have you done for me lately type business. As in all businesses, there are disclosures. In investments, it says past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Well, that pretty much sums up the NFL. And there are always going to be younger and hungrier athletes competing to take your spot. I got my opportunity when incumbent starter Drew Bledsoe got injured my second year. And all of the practices and meetings and time spent on these fields and in this gym and in those classrooms prepared me to take advantage of the opportunity. And 10 years later, after great success in my career, I wouldn't change a day in my life. I'm blessed with 2 beautiful sons, a loving wife, a career that you could only dream of, and a family and friends that I've shared each and every one of those experiences with. And all that began here under this roof, and I'm forever grateful for that. And I want everyone here to think about some of those special and often rare moments where you've had times to reflect on your life. The final hours before the birth of a child, or the preparation for a life-changing assignment at work, or getting prepared for a challenge that life has put before you. And how about our graduating seniors from this year's championship football team? How do you think they felt 1 week before the biggest game of their life? I'm sure each player has learned and grown and matured under the direction of Coach Walsh. And those players will tell you how it feels to go out on that field as a team and put in the extra time to get where Coach Walsh needed them to be. And each of those men had an opportunity, and they took advantage of it. And they paid the price, and they committed themselves to a goal that was bigger than themselves. And they were rewarded for that. When the Padres found themselves in a dogfight at halftime, the team answered the call. They played their game, and the game was theirs for the taking. They stood strong in the face of adversity and didn't back down. That's the kind of man that our community builds. So I know it meant a lot for each player who put on the jersey and competed for our school and for our families, and each of those players walked away a champion. And what a proud day for Serra High School. And it's not only the football team or only the other athletic teams or the other extracurriculars like the trivia club that Mr. Vogel ran when I was here as a sophomore, which I was pretty good in that. the drama classes, our music department, where I learned a song all the Padres know. I'm a Padre, I'm a Padre, I'm a Padre till I die. I'd rather be a Padre than a cherry from SI. Mr. Lunn, I'm glad I could say that. You know, we've got a great science lab, or what was my favorite, the tri-school classes. Or our foreign language department that, when I was here, Mr. Aparicio ran. By the way, I wasn't happy about the C that I got in sophomore Spanish. But that's what attracts the students here. And we have a special culture for learning, and we have a culture built for success. And our teachers and our faculty help every young man find the strength to enter everything they do completely mindful, and to look at everything with awareness that they can create their own destiny and their own legacy in their life. I know that's what I gained from my experience here, and our faculty has always encouraged our students to reach its potential. 17 years ago, I walked these halls as a wide-eyed senior, and I had my whole life in front of me. Hopefully, I still do. But there were no limits to my path because I was just starting to create it. And now, friends and family of Serra High School, I come back once again, humbled to have the opportunity to thank you and to appreciate you for helping me develop into the person I am today. So sitting on that plane and flying to Indianapolis 4 weeks ago, I looked to my former coaches and my teammates and my family to be a part of my dream, a dream born years ago on the fields and in the classrooms of this school. So tonight, I look to you once more, and I look to you to ask your help in funding the dreams of the fine young men out there that deserve to be here to share in this incredibly rewarding experience that this school can offer. They've been prepared to make an impact, and it would be a shame if this fundamental experience in our lives, the foundation of who I am today, was not available to all the worthy kids in our area. All of us here tonight know the Serra grads are men who make a change for the good, and that's why we gather here tonight. My family and I are supporting this effort, and I hope everyone else joins us. Certainly a special thank you to the benefactors and the table sponsors who have already contributed. You're the ones making this event possible. And now we need everybody in this room to join me in supporting the financial aid program, because I want tonight to be the record breaker for Fund a Dream. And I really don't care what fundraisers of the past have done. I really don't. See, it's just not the football field where I'm competitive. So we all love Serra, and we want it to continue to grow and thrive like never before. So tonight I need your support with the live auction, particularly the last item, where we ask you to make a donation that will support a Padre for a day, a week, a month, a semester, a year. So get ready to raise those bidding paddles up high and frequently. I don't want to see any alligator arms out there. So thank you once again for allowing me to be here as a part of this night, and thank you for your unwavering support in my career. And I look forward to the growth of our great school and the many young boys that will become men after their 4 years walking these hallways. Thank you.